Right. Good afternoon. Uh, as I told you earlier, we have to we have to finish everything in database today because we have been taking so much time to discuss database management system. I think I have taken around 9 classes to cover these things. So it's more than enough to understand the stuff. So today this may be the last class under last class in database management system or database. So in this today's class, we have to work with two tables, right? Up to now we work with one table. I have created one table in Microsoft Access. But today we need to work with two tables. And more importantly, we are able to relate them, which means we have to make relationship between these two. So after making relationships, we have to move to other objects, right? So Microsoft Access has many objects. So we have been working with tables, right? And up to this moment, we work with tables, but not only table. Access has many, not many, maybe number of objects, right? So we have queries, we have forms, we have reports, right? In addition to table, we have other three important things, right? So let's create another table and make a relationship, and then we need to do some other things. Okay, so let's go. Right, listen. So I don't want to create two tables again. I don't want to create two tables newly. I'm going to use my existing table because all of you can understand the method, right? How to create table and how to insert records. You know, the two views which you have to switch from one to another, right? So you have design view of the table, and also you have data sheet view of the table. So why do we use design view? Design view is for designing the table. As the name implies, it is for designing the table. So what does the term design mean? Creating fields along with the data type, because every field has data. Definitely that data belongs to a data type. So when it is designing, it is creating fields and setting the data type, right data type for fields. Okay, right. Once a table is designed, we have to switch to another view, because the design view is not the right view for inserting the data, because that is not the typical table view. So to insert the data, to insert the record in a table, you need another view called data sheet view. That is also available in table. Okay, so we work with them. We have so much experiences, right? Okay, right. With that, let's go to the Access and open the existing database. So I'm not going to create any databases, new databases, going to use existing database. So let's find our database. It's too simple. Open your Microsoft Access, go to the Microsoft Office, and see you have Microsoft Access 2010. Open it. Right, okay. Right, as we discussed on the other day, on the left side of this interface, you have your recently accessed databases are there. It doesn't mean that they are recently created. Both recently created and also recently opened or accessed, everything is there. So here, look here, I have recently created a database to you to teach, right? Because I thought that it is too difficult to create two tables again, because it is wasting of time. So for demonstration purpose, I have already created a database called School D, right? School D or School DB or something, School D, ACCDB, that is extension. This is my database. I want to open it because I have two tables inside. Okay, so I want to open it. Just double click and it opens. Listen to me, right? So here, look at the left side again. I have two tables. One is in the name of payment. The other one is student, right? I have already created. In fact, I have already added the data too. They are not empty tables, right? They have the data. Both of them under school D database. This is my database. Any meaningful name can be given. So I have given school D or something, right? If you are creating a database for your school, give your school name, right? Okay, right. So let's open and see the data. Look here, I open the student table. This is how it looks like, right? So here you have admission number, which means ADNO, S name, DOB, gender, city. So you know how to create this table, and also you know how to add the data. I clearly explain everything, including the date and time format, right? I told you how to change the format. Everything is done in design view. You may go to the design view and check it. These are the things. Note, I have set admission number as the primary key, right? So it's too easy. How to set the primary key? Select the relevant field. So here the most appropriate field is admission number. So admission number can be primary key because all the other fields have duplications. So select the admission number and see there is an object called primary key. So click on it. That's enough. Okay. Now in payment table, in student table, admission number becomes as a primary key. Okay, right. Similarly, open the payment table. Here also I have data. I have added 3 fields: received number, which is REC_NO, amount, and ADNO. That is the primary key of student table. Here it is a foreign key because you can see the duplication there. Keep an eye on the admission number. It has duplication, right? So which clearly indicates that it can be primary key. So it is the foreign key because the same ADNO is the primary key of student table. Okay, right. So here, okay, let's take the design view of this payment table. So here I already set received number as primary key. If you don't want, you can remove that. Click again. Now it is not there. So receipt number can be primary key because, as we discussed earlier during the classes, receipt number cannot be repeated because every receipt has a number. That number never be given for another receipt. It's all about payment received, right? So when a payment is made, a receipt is given. That receipt has a number that must be unique. Okay, right. So I can set that as primary key. Click on the primary key icon. Okay, now it is primary key. You can save both of them. Have you understood? Creating 2 tables is too simple under one database. If you want to create another table, it's too simple. Go to the create button, right? Go to the create button and click on the table design, right? And you may give some field. I'm not going to create a meaningful one, but let me create 1 or 2 field in order to show you, in order to demonstrate to you, right? But this is not the objective of this class, but let me show one more table to be created. Okay, so still we under school D. I click on the create and then design view. Okay, you can add anything. Let me type like subject table or something. SUB ID, subject ID. Okay, it's number. So if it is subject name, SUB, right? SUB name. Okay, it is text. Enough. So let's go to the other view, datasheet view. It asks to save. Okay, just click on. Now give the name, subject. Okay, click OK. Now you can, it asks the primary key. I don't want any primary key at this moment. Okay, no. Right. Look here. You can see the left side, right? You have 3 tables now: payment table there, student table there, subject table there. All these 3 tables are in school DB. That is the database. Under one database, you have 3 tables. Have you understood? So it is too easy to create multiple tables in one database. Use my method. You have to go to the create and click on table design. Immediately the design view appears. There you have to give the field name and the data type. Okay, so I don't want the subject table. Let me close it. Let me delete that because we have to work with student table and payment table because they have meaningful data, but subject table doesn't. So let me close it or let me delete it. Even I want to delete that. Subject is nothing for that. Right click and delete. That's too easy. Okay. Right. So you have both table, payment table and student table. Listen to me very carefully, right? So I took these 2 tables because we have worked with these two tables already when it comes to relationship, right? So we manually relate the tables earlier. So, you know, that is the important thing for your exams, right? These are not important, but you know, these two tables. In student table, students' data are found. In payment table, the payments which the students made are stored. Okay, right. Now I want to create the relationship. Let me create the relationship between two tables. Okay, before that, let's keep an eye on the fields again. Look at this. I have already opened this payment table. In payment table, as we discussed earlier, receipt number is the primary key. Okay, let me open student table again. In student table, admission number is the primary key. Here you cannot see whether the admission number is the primary key or not because it is the data sheet view. To see the primary key or to find the primary key, go back to the design view and find it, right? I have already showed you everything, okay? So you can go to the design view and find it, okay? Right. So now what I'm going to do is going to relate both tables together. You know, relationship is nothing. It's a connection between two tables. It's an association between two tables. Now, these two tables are not connected, right? Both of them are created. Both of them are in one database. But having both tables in a database doesn't mean they have relationship, right? They are not related. They have the common field, right? They have the common field. Here, admission number is found, right? In student table, admission number is found. In payment table also, admission number is found. Yes, it is the primary key here. REC number is the primary key here. In student table, ADNO is the primary key. So definitely, this ADNO, listen to me carefully, right? Keep an eye on the table. In payment table, this ADNO should be the foreign key. But I did not relate them. That's the problem, right? So now time to relate them. You know how to relate them, right? The primary key of one table should be connected with the foreign key of another table. Okay, right. So let's make the relationship. Listen to me, okay? To create the relationship, go to the database tools. There is a tab called database tools. We already worked with create, right? Now we came to database tools. Click on database tools and you can find that icon relationship, right? Click on the relationship. Right, now you can see both tables are there, right? We have sometime it asks to add the tables. So if you have a small dialog box for adding the tables, just select the two tables and click on the add or something. But here I have both tables. So look at this. This is my student table. You can see three tabs on the top. This is payment table. This is already open. If you don't want, you can close it. Right click and close. Now payment table is closed, but it is not deleted. It's still there. So second tab is student table. Okay, we don't want that now. Just close that. Okay, keep that relationship tab as alive. Now, student payment. What are they? What are those two things? Student is a table and payment is another table. You can see the fields there, right? Everything is a field. Admission number is the field. His name is the field. So, in student table, you have three fields. All of them are listed one by one. In payment table, as you can see, there are three fields. All of them are there. Note there is a small key icon in front of ADNO as well as in front of RECNO. So that is the indication of primary key. That is the symbol of primary key. Okay. Now, the primary key of this student table, which means ADNO, must be related to the foreign key of the payment table. That is also ADNO. It's too simple. To make the relationship, click on this admission number, right? Carefully watch. You have to click on there and drag. Don't release the mouse button, drag it. Drag. And now go to the ADNO in payment table and release the mouse, right? Now I release it. As soon as you release, you will get a small dialog box called edit relationship, right? Edit relationship. You can clearly see, right? Student table there, the field is admission number. Here payment table, both of them have the same name. So now I have clearly checked that both admission numbers are taken. Okay. So now you can click on enforce referential integrity. I will explain this later. This is not important, but I click on it and create. Click on the create button, right? Create button. Right. Now you can see the relationship has been created. Even you can drag it, right? Doesn't matter. So you can drag anywhere. The relationship can be created. And now, as you can see, in student side, there is 1, right? In payment side, there is another symbol, which is many, right? It is M. So here 1, here many. Can anyone tell me what does it mean? Tell me the idea. 1M. What's the meaning?
One to many.
Yes, 1 to many. Okay. What does that 1 to many mean? What's the meaning of 1 to many here? That 1 to many relationship should have a real meaning, because these two tables have real records, right? This is student table, this is payment table. So now you found 1 to many. So I want the meaning, right? The exact meaning of 1 to many according to this context. What is it? I explained. Anyone? I explained this, right? So Dushani, right? Repeat that. Repeat your idea.
1 to many. The admission number there in the student table can be in number of times, many number of times in the payment table.
Okay, right. That's right. Admission number in student table may have many similar. I mean entries in payment table. One admission number, right? One admission number. If it is one admission number there, that admission number may have similar entries many times. But what does it mean? One student, right? Look here, it is one. What's the table there? One student table. So the real meaning which I wanted to get from you is one student, right? One student. This is payment. Make many payment. One student make many payment. This is many. However, look at the opposite direction. One payment is made by one student. I don't want to repeat such things. Try to understand. I already explained. If it is one to many, in one side it is one to many. In opposite it is one to one, right? So here one, but have you noted the side where the one is located? It is student side. So which means one student. Here many. This is many. What side is this? It is payment side. So one student can make many payments. On the opposite side, the payment must be done by one student. Okay, now the relationship is made. Okay, we have related the relationship. Okay, right. Now look here. I want to go back to the student table again. Click on the student table and open it. Right, clearly watch. Now see, in front of every record, there is a small icon found. This wasn't found earlier. Right? These small icons were not found earlier. After making the relationship only, they are found. Right? Actually, this is not a symbol. This is called expansion button or something. So when I click, this looks like a plus symbol. So when I click, something will expand it. Right? Something will be expanded. Okay, look here. I'm going to click on this plus button. Have a look at this. Now, when I click, it shows now because two tables are related, right? Both tables are related. Both payment table and student table are related. Now you can simply see, I clicked on Vimal button, right? I clicked on the button which is in front of Vimal. So now I can clearly see Vimal's payment, right? Vimal made 2 payments. Look at them. Sorry. Vimal made a payment for 4,000 rupees and got 001 receipt. And Vimal also made another payment for 2,000 and got 005. This detail is clearly displayed here. If you click on Ravi, right, now see there is only one data found for Ravi, right? Because this data actually not in student table, right? Remember, I opened the student table, not the payment table. Payment table is not open. But these two data, record number, sorry, received number and amount, these two data are saved in payment table. But now they are displayed in student table because two tables are related. Right now you have only the remaining records are there, right? These are in student table. Don't be confused. The other remaining data are from student table. Now this is the one. If you click on this one, it will be, it will be hidden. Similarly, if you click on Meena, see there is a plus for Meena. I click on it. So Meena has made only one payment and got a receipt for 008. That is displayed. Okay, let's go back to the payment table and check it. It may be useful, right? I open the payment table. Right, look here. 1001 made 2 payments, right? 1001 made 2 payments. One and got 001 received and 005 received. Who is 1001? Go and check the student table. That is Vimal. So Vimal made 2 payments. So if you click on this expanded button, you can simply see them. You don't need to go to the payment table and check everything. So with one click, the data in payment table are shown closer to student table record. This is student table record 1001 Vimal 2010-12 male Jeffna. That is Vimal's data found in student table. His payment details are saved in payment table, but that is also displayed here. Have you understood? So let's go to the payment table and check one more thing. Look at the 1005. See, 1005 made 2 payments and got 007 as receipt and 009 as another receipt. Who is 1005? Look at the student table. Who is 1005? Nimal. So Nimal made 2 payments. Click on this expand button. Now you can see that, right? 007, 07. So now actually the relationship is really working. If tables are not related, you cannot get that. So now you can simply see one student can make many payments. Look at them. This is one student. Who is it? 1005, right? Nimal. This is Nimal, but he has made 2 payments. He has made a payment for 2,000 rupees and got 007 as receipt. And he also made another payment for 500 rupees and got 009 as another receipt. So one student can make many payments. At the same time, one payment can be made only one student. You can't say that 007 is given for 2 students. That is impossible. 007 is given for Nimal, so it never be given. Have you understood? So this is how the relationship works. So see the method again. So I want to delete the relationship. I will do it again. I can to delete the relationship, just go to the relationship tab and click on this arrow, right? Because this is the link which makes the relationship. Click on the link, right click and delete. It asks a confirmation because you are deleting something. Click on yes. Wait one second. The tables are open. That's why it is asking. I will close the table. Okay. Now click on it. Right click on it. Delete. Yes. Now the relationship is over. Even you can close the tab too. Right. Close the tab. Okay. Right. Now the relationship is removed. Okay. Let's see how to create the relationship again. Go to the database tools. That is one of the tabs. Go there and find the button or find the icon relationships. Click on it. Once you click, definitely there should be a table like this, right? You will get a table like this but now I have already created the relationship. That's why tables are already there. But if you don't find the table here, right? If you don't find the table here, click on the show table dialog box, right? Show table. And now the two tables are listed. Select both of them. You may press the control key and select both of them, because I'm going to create the relationship between these two tables. So select both of them and click on add button. See, there is a button add. Then look at the tables. They are on the background, right? Both tables are brought. Now click the close button. Okay, now you have two tables. You already understood everything. You have decided that the primary key of the payment table is REC number, and the primary key of the student table is ADNO. So you know that this ADNO must be linked with this ADNO. So click on here and drag it, right? Don't release the mouse, click and drag, and now release it. So it shows that. Click on this option and click create button. Now you can see in student side is 1, in payment side it is many, because in student side, you know, admission number is the primary key. It never be duplicated, so it is 1. In payment side, admission number is not the primary key, so it can have duplication. So that's why it is many, 1 to many. Clear? So now the table is related. So once the table is related, you can find the expansion button in student table, because student table is the one which has the primary key, right? So click on it. Now you can see the arrows, those plus symbol, which means expand button. So now you can click and check it. One by one you can check it. Okay. So this is how the relationship is created. I don't want to spend much time in creating or making relationship, because it may not be important for your exam, but at the same time creating the relationship is not the hardest thing. It's too easy. You need to have two tables in your database. That's the only basic requirement that you need, right? So if you have two tables in your database, it's too simple to create the relationship, right? Again, I tell you, those who have computers, try practicing, right? This is very, very worth for your future. Maybe those who have, those who want to work in some environment, you can even in your school, sometimes you may be asked to create two tables for your classroom purpose, right? Maybe your class teacher may ask to create two tables or three tables to store your details. Your personal details may be stored in your table. Your payment detail may be found in a payment table. Sometimes your subject detail may be found in subject table. So when you are asked to do such things, you must do that, right? So for your day-to-day life, these are very important. These are very useful. Okay, right. So these are enough about table, but not a database management system like Access has more than one database object. Table is called one of the object, right? Not only table, DBMS has more than one database objects. So as I mentioned earlier, I have already named them. So we have, right, we have queries, we have forms, we have reports, and also we have macros. But fortunately, we have the first four: table, query, form, report. Okay. So now we all know about table. We all understood about tables and the purpose of having table. So why do we use tables in a database management system, or why do we use table in a database? It is for storing the data. Don't forget, table is for storing the data, not for retrieving the data, right? So even see now, for an example, listen to me carefully. Now you have, right, you have two tables, student table and also payment table. In student table, you have names, and their payments are not saved in student table, right? The payments are not in student table, they are in payment table. So suppose if someone asks me to show the student names along with the payment, it is impossible because student names are here, right? Someone wants all the student names and their payments in a table, right? Two columns. He wants student names in one column as well as the payments, which means amount, in another column. But the problem is you have student names in student table, payment table in payment table. So which clearly indicates that table is not the ideal component or ideal object to retrieve the data, to find the data, right? You can save the data systematically. That is, of course, okay. That is correct. But to get some data according to your wish, you cannot use table. So there comes another object called query. Okay, let's apply the query. I'm going to close these tabs. Okay, so let's, even I can close this. Right, so let's apply the query. Go to the create. So see here, you can find a small portion allocated for query. This one, very small. Right, you can see this area. This small area belongs to queries. Right, so here, why query? Why table? It is for storing the data in databases, right? Why do we use tables in a database? It is for storing the data systematically or in an organized manner. To retrieve any data from table, right? To get any data from a table, you need an object called query, right? So go to the query and click on, there may be methods to create query, but let me apply the basic method. Click on query design. Have you noted, even in table also, to create a table, we clicked on table design, right? Look here, table design, because designing part is important. So here also, to create a query, click on query design, click on it. Once you clicked, right, there will be a dialog box called show table dialog box. We have seen this same table minutes ago when we created relationship. The same table is displayed here. Show table dialog box, right? So this show table dialog box shows all the tables in the database. Remember the database, that is school D, right? In this school database, we have two tables, all of them are listed. Okay, right. So let's add both tables to the design view. In the background, you can see the design view. The design view is in the background. You can clearly see some of them, right? So now I want two tables to the design view, because already these two tables are related. I want some information from payment table, and also I want some data from student table. That's why I want both tables. So add both tables. You can add one by one. So select the payment table and click add. Now you can see that table on the background. So now click the student table and click add button. Okay, and click the close button, because both tables are added. Close it. Okay. Now see, this looks like the relationship window. Actually, this is not the relationship window. You can clearly see the word query one. So because both tables are listed, both are related, that's why the relationship is there, right? So it is the design view, right? It is the design view of the query, right? Look here. Now what I'm going to do is going to retrieve two data from these two tables, right? Since these two tables are related, I can do that. So I'm going to see the student names and their amounts, right? Students' names are found in student table. Okay, I want to see the students' names and the amount. Where is the student name, or where are student names? They are in student table, right? Where is amount? It is in payment table. Okay, now I want both of them as a table, or both of them as two columns, right? In a closer manner, I want to view that. Okay, so let's see that. So it's very simple task. You can check the bottom part. See, there are some names given: field, table, sort, show, criteria. Some things are there. Okay, now My first data would be student name. Click on student name, keep watching, click on student name and drag it. Now I'm dragging, you can see some, indication is there, I'm dragging. So drag that and you have to drop that in this first box, right? Because that belongs to field. I'm dragging a field, so just drop it. Have you understood? This method is called drag and drop method, right? Drag and drop method. So that term, that English term tells everything, right? Drag. So I have dragged that and finally I drop that in the box. I put that in the box. So since I have dragged the student name, S name, under, next to field, S name is displayed. I have brought that from student table. That's why it is automatically displayed. Look at that student. It is automatically displayed against table because that is the table. But I didn't type anything as student there, that because it is automatically displayed. Okay. So what I did was dragging the student name and putting here, dropping here. So what else I want? I want to see the amount that they paid. Where is the amount? Amounts are in payment table. So do that again. Now click on amount and drag, right? Drag it, don't release the mouse, drag that. And now you have to put in the second column, right? Again, same box, same box means it also belongs to field. Okay, now payment is there. So now I have dragged and dropped the fields which I wanted. I wanted to have only student name, which means S name and amount. So now I have done it. I don't want any others. If I want any others, that is possible, but I want these two. Okay. Okay. Now what I did was I designed the query, right? I have designed the query. Query is nothing. It's a kind of, it's a kind of questioning or something, right? Because I have many data. I wanted some data, so I made a small query. I made a small question there, right? Because I need these two things. Okay, but still I am unable to see the data, right? I am unable to see the data. To see the data, you have to click on this icon, run, right? There is an icon called run. Click on it. I click on it. Now you can see that, right? So now student names are there and the amounts are there, but not this S name has been brought from student table, amount is taken from payment table. Now it looks like a table. Actually, it is not the table. It is called query, but it looks like a table. Even you can take the printout of them. Even you can check that, right? Vimal, see Vimal names, a name entered twice. Why? Vimal has made two payments. He has made a payment for 4,000 rupees and also he has made another payment for 2,000. So that's why Vimal is there twice. And here Nimal also there twice because Nimal also made two payments. The remaining or rest of the people, rest of the students have made only one payment. That's why their names are entered once. Okay, so such thing cannot be done in table. Table can store them. But for retrieving the data from table, you have to use query. See, I got these two data. I got the student names and amounts. It is because of the table. Suppose if those two tables are not available, if those two tables are not in my database, definitely I cannot create this query. So remember, for creating a query, you must have a table or you must have one or two tables, maybe one, maybe two. So definitely it is important. If you don't have tables, you cannot create queries. So that's why even though you have table, query, form, report, all these things are called objects, database objects. But table is also known as, always known as primary object, right? The table, query, form, report, macro, all of them are called objects because these things can handle the database. these can do something for database. That's why these are called objects. But among them, table gets a special name called primary object, because without a table, query is impossible. Even without a table, the rest of the objects, right, like form, report, impossible. That's why table is always known as what? A primary object. Okay, right. Let's do some changes here. I go back to the design view again. So click on the view and design. This is design view of the query, yeah, not table. So we are in the design view. Okay. Even if you want to see another data, okay, let me show one more data like gender. Select the, click the gender and put in the next box. It's too easy, right? Click on it. So gender, it has been taken from student table. That's why it shows student. Look here, it against table. So table is student. To see your output, again run it. Every time when you need an output, when you need the data, click on run. Now see, you can see them, right? Your S name, student name, and gender, both of them are taken from student table. Amount has been taken from payment table, both are there. All these three fields are there. Okay, so this is the how the query is created. So I hope that you can understand the purpose of having query. Even I think if they want to ask a question in exam about query, this may be the one question can be asked in exam, like what's the purpose of having query? That may be the one and only question can be asked, because here it's all about practical. So we cannot ask many questions in written paper. If it is a practical exam, there may be so many things asked. But since our examinations are always theory based, you cannot ask many questions. So you may be asked to write the purpose of having query. It's very simple, retrieving the data from database. That's enough. Okay, right. So enough, right? I don't want to take any other field, but want to show one more thing, right? Look here. There is one called even sort. Sort means ascending or descending, right? You can see that there is an arrow there, ascending, descending, right? So if you want to ascend, okay, if I click descending, see, I arrange them in descending order, but under S name, which means student names are arranged in descending order, right? Because I have selected the design descending under S name, not under amount. So now if I run, you can see the student names are arranged in descending, which means Z to A. Vimal is on the top. Look at them. Vani, Rohan, Ravi. So it is based on S name. Even if you want, just select it as not sorted, right? Now it is not sorted. Go to the payment, right? Amount, and you can select as descending. Now the data will be arranged again, but based on descending order, based on the payment, right? But it is descending order. Now it is not sorted in terms of names, right? It will be sorted in terms of payment. Run it. Look there. Ravi is on the top because he has made 5,000. That is the largest amount, right? Then 4,000, 2,500. So sorting also possible. Okay. How to do that? You may select the sorting, right, under right column. If you are arranging the students based on student name, go here and select it, right? If you cannot select both of them together, right? You have to select not sorted for one and select it. Okay, right. If you don't want any order, just click on not sorted. Right. Then go to the criteria. There is another one called criteria. This may be very useful in query because sometimes we retrieve the data based on conditions, right? We take the data from databases based on condition. For example, look here. I have student names, amount, and gender. So if I run, all the students' data, sorry, all the students' name, amount, gender are listed. If this table has 100 students, all these 100 students' S name, amount, gender definitely be displayed. But Sometimes you need or you have another purpose, another need. For example, see, now I want to see the students, sorry, I want to see the female students along with the, sorry, I want to see the female students, which means their names and amount and gender, right? All these three things needed, but I don't want to show all the students. I want to see the female students' names, amount, and their gender, right? Okay. In this case, if you do like this, you know, male, female, all of them are listed. Okay. So here, you need to write a small condition, small criteria. So now the criteria based on gender, because female, male are saved in gender field. So come to the gender and go to the criteria, right? Because I'm going to write a criteria. So you must write a criteria which comes under gender. So find the right cage. This is the cage. Look here. I have selected this one because this is under gender and also this is criteria. So here I have to write something. In this field, in this box, I have to write something. It's very simple. So find the right box. Have you noted? It must be under gender because we are dealing with males and females. And also it must be against criteria because we are writing a criteria. Okay. So what is it? I want to see female students. So gender, right? Look there, it is gender equal, because I want female students. So gender equal female. Have you understood? Gender is equal to female, which means gender must be female, and run it. Now you will have only female students, right? But your table has all the data, but from all these data, I have extracted, right? Or I have retrieved only female students, name, amount, and gender. If I want to see students or male students, I have to type equal male, right? Run it. Now all the male students details are saved, not female students this time. Have you understood? It's very simple, right? The writing criteria is very simple. Okay, now I want the city too, right? I want to show the city too. Okay, delete that and drag the city and put here. So now we have 4 fields: S name there, amount there, gender, and city. Let's run it. You can find it. See, all the details are there. All the students' names, amount, gender, city, right? We have. Okay, let's write a small criteria. Listen to me. Now, so suppose if I want to see the students who live in Jaffna, it's very simple. Go to the city and find the box and click equal Jaffna. Have you understood? So city is equal to Jaffna. So now if you run, only we have Jaffna students records, right? So Vimal, Ravi, Vani. So they are the only people, only students live in Jaffna. The rest of the students records are not shown because they are not matched to the criteria. Okay, so go to the design view again. Right, now I want to do one more thing. I want to see, listen to me carefully, this is something complex. I want to see the students, I want to see the female students who live in Jaffna, right? I want to see the female students, which means their S name, their amount, their gen, their city, right? Female students data, but they must live in Jaffna. Any idea? Can anyone tell me how to write that? I want to see female students who live in Jaffna. Anyone? Here in city it's Jaffna, right? Don't make any changes because it's Jaffna. In addition to that, right, we want another criteria because it looks like AND operator which we studied in logic gate, right? Both must be compulsory. The student must be female. She must live in Jaffna. So I put the Jaffna, one criteria has already been written. Go to the gender, right? Go to the gender and click on the box. Equal, right? What is it? Female. Now, the students who satisfy these two will be displayed, right? They must be female, at the same time they must live in Jaffna, right? Those records will be displayed. Run it. Now see, I have only one student, Vani, because Vani is a female and she lives in Jaffna. Her record is there. But I have many female, maybe more than one female in my table. But other females are not listed because the others, yes, they are females, but they are not they are not living in Jaffna. That's why they are not listed. Even I couldn't find any males. There are many males who lives in Jaffna, but they are not female. That's why they are not listed. Okay, so female, gender, and also city Jaffna. Right, now I will make one change. See, now I want to see the student's name, amount, gender, city, okay, all of them. But I want to see these details who paid more than 2,000 rupees, right? I want to see the student's data, right? But not all the data. I want to see the students who paid more than 2,000. So now come to the amount, because amount has the payment. Come to the amount and find the right box, right cage. So here I am, more than 2,000. So here I cannot put equal 2,000. If I put equal 2,000, those students who pay 2,000 rupees will be displayed. But I don't want to show 2,000. I don't want to show the students who made 2,000 rupees. I want to show the students who made more than 2,000. So put the greater than symbol, right? Greater than, because more than means greater than. Here we cannot write in words. That's why we are using symbols, operators. Even for equal male, I cannot write equal in words because that is not accepted. So greater than 2,000 rupees. See, it's too simple. And now run it. Now see, I have only 3 students. Check the amounts. They paid more than 2,000 rupees. That's why their details are found. Okay. So what happens if I put female here? Tell me the output, tell me the idea. Amount greater than 2,000, gender female. What is it? Give me the answer.
Female students who had paid more than 2,000 will be displayed.
Yes. So the female students who made more than 2,000 payment will be displayed. Not all the female students are displayed, right? Because here I made another criteria. So the female students who made more than 2,000 rupees, greater than 2,000 rupees only be displayed. No males are displayed because here gender should be female. Run it. See, none of the record displayed because no female students match to this criteria, right? Because I have put the criteria. I think I have 2 female students, right? But both of them are not listed because yes, they are female, but they didn't make the payment for more than 2,000. That's why they are not there. Okay, so this is how we can give criteria and understand. So again, I tell you these are very useful when it comes to practical, but I don't think that they are important for your exam, but better practice, right? Spend some time at home, right, and practice. But if we have time, or if the classes are started, then I can give you time for practical. But so as soon as we learn something, practice that may be the right way to memorize, or remember forever. Okay, so this is the reason why we use query. So here I used 2 tables for retrieving the data. I have retrieved the data from payment table as well as student table. Okay, right. We have form and also we have report. right? We have two more objects to be explained. I just want to give an introduction for form, but definitely I just want to spend maybe 10 minutes in the next class to explain practically. But let me give a small idea or short description about form. So now everyone knows that table is for storing the data, query is for retrieving the data from table. Okay, but form is another object. Sometimes form, you may think that the form is not important, but it may be useful when it comes to data entry. So form is very ideal tool or very useful tool to enter the data into table. I repeat it. So whenever you want to add the data in a table, use the form view or use the form object, then only you can get some comfortableness. Sometimes, yes, you can use the table, right, data sheet view of the table for data entry, but sometimes it is not comfortable. I will explain practically later. That doesn't look good when you use data sheet view of the table. So to get some comfortable, people often use form for entering the data. So if you enter the data through form, definitely the data will be saved in table. There is no issue because we already discussed the table is the one which keeps all the data. But the problem is working with data sheet view is something uncomfortable and uneasy. So we use a form view to insert the record. So through the form, data will be added. Once it is added, the data will be saved in table. Form never saves any data. Form may be an intermediate component between the users and the table. So through the form, you can easily add the data. Once the data added, they will be in table. So I will spend maybe minutes, 5 or 10 minutes to show such things in the next class. After that, we can start the next unit, right? Once these things finished, I want to start the other units. We have 2 or 3 units, 2 units, right? 2 units to be completed. So we will do them next. Okay. So spend some time at home and practice everything. Definitely, right? Those who have computer definitely practice. Others just watch and understand the things. We can practice them later. So with this, we conclude today and meet it in another class, right? So thank you.